Hello again. I am posting a follow-up video to my demonstration of the Zappiti reference um, to get around to a couple questions that have come up, and I just wanted to demonstrate a couple other things that people have been asking about. First, regarding the connections of my devices, there was some question about if the user interface was sluggish because of my internet connection, and I just wanted to let you know I am connected via Ethernet. All of my devices, my Zappiti reference is hardwired, and all of my storage devices, being the NAS servers, are all hardwired, and my internet connection speed is about almost a gig. I got about 940 download and 40 upload. So, and I've confirmed over 400 download at the Zappiti machine. So it's not an internet connection issue. I just think it's their software or their cloud. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and created a new collection on a local server. I created a server on my PC. I find that it works much better, and I probably will be sticking with that until they can correct the issues with the cloud server. So that is the server I'm running now. So this will demonstrate the differences in that. So I'll just kind of go into the movie wall again and just go through that to demonstrate that for you all. So as you can see, the artwork shows up much quicker. It still is not as good as when you're viewing this on a PC. So I don't know why that is. It may just be the hardware. But it seems to be running a little better. See, when you start getting several pages in, you'll still get some of those blank artworks. But all in all, it's much faster than when using the cloud server. So if you're used to Plex and you have a computer that's always on, this is the route I would recommend, and probably the route I'm going to stay. So I don't know how many people have like 1,200 movies, so scrolling through 21 pages of 40 movies per page is probably not what most people are doing. But anyway, I just wanted to show that. This shows much improvement over what was in my previous video. I think you'll all agree. So that touches on that. And the next thing, someone asked me about 3D movies and if the menus work on 3D movies. So I've gone ahead and I didn't used to have my 3D library digitized, but I've gone ahead and done that, and I can show you. You specifically asked about Avatar, so I will demonstrate. I had no issues with the 3D menu, with ISO 3D, 3D ISOs on this. It works just fine. I'll go ahead and view the menus. Oops, I inadvertently hit something on my remote control. Okay, so here's the main menu. As you can see, it seems to be running just fine. and it'll give you the option to play either the 3D or 2D in this version. So that's the 3D menu, ISO, a 3D Blu-ray ISO menu. I'll go ahead and back out of this. And then someone asked me, or was asking, how easy it is to change audio while you're playing a video or a movie. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate that real quick. Here, let's pick. So I've actually found that there's two different ways that, and it depends on the file type. When you hit info on the remote, it shows different things depending on the file type. For example, in this, sorry, the projector is zooming, so hopefully this won't obscure because I don't have it set in widescreen mode. So if you hit info while a movie's playing back, it'll give you the information. Yeah, it is kind of up above there a little bit. I'll have to test and see if widescreen mode brings that within the picture film. So there's the information that shows when you hit info. And then to change audio, you just hit the audio button, and then you can go in between whatever audio you want. Same with subtitles. You hit the subtitle button, and you can scroll through the different subtitles, set up the subtitles, changing the fonts, colors, and where they are located on the screen. You can pixel shift them. Okay, so that's for this type of file. I've noticed that when you play ISO files instead of MKV, that it gives a different type of menu or view when you hit info, and I will demonstrate that next. Let me find, let's see. Okay, that's the same. Oh, I think I know what it was. It was when you're playing something that's not 4K, perhaps. I apologize if I'm... Nope. Okay. Well, on some movies, when you hit info, it will have the information at the top, and you actually hit the A, B, and C buttons to toggle through either the audio tracks or toggle through the subtitles or even the camera angles. So it's fairly straightforward. So to answer your question, it is simple, at least in my experience. So I also wanted to test the 3x5, or I'm sorry, the 2.35 by 1 widescreen to see if it accounts for those menu items while you are in a movie playback. And I will go ahead and change I reached out to Zappiti. I mentioned my complaint about the movie wall, and I'll demonstrate that here. So the UI is now in widescreen mode, and when you go to view your movies, the movies exceed the borders of the screen. I reached out to Zappiti on this, and they said that for now, to only use the 2 line, and that is compatible, and that they will be releasing shortly a version or a variation of the lines that'll be specific for the widescreen mode. How long? Hopefully not long. So now I'm in the two line mode, so that now everything should be within my screen. And that appears to be the case. Again, on first load, it seems still, considering I have a local server, I don't expect that I should have to see those blank artworks. They need to figure out how to get that cached in the hardware, and I'm sorry, in the onboard memory. So I want to go now test if I look at a menu in a movie. I'm just picking random movies. Okay, so now if I hit info, I'm hoping that the widescreen mode should account for the zoom and be within my picture. And it's not. So that's a bug that I'll want to report to Zappiti that they need to fix when they fix their widescreen mode. That's unfortunate. I'll go over another couple things I found that I'm not too happy with, or that they should change or fix. When you view movies, you can also sort them by different things. Current view is from A to Z, but how I typically have it is from release date. So I have the newest movies at the top is how I typically have my movie wall. And that can't be right. Okay. I actually just highlighted one of my complaints. So when you're sorting by release date, it still takes groups into account. So if I found that all of the groups that the movies are in are all at the bottom of this list, rather than taking out those movies um, and then putting them in reverse chronological order. It still keeps them in their groups, so it's not able to put every movie in the right order, which makes no sense to me. A workaround for that I've found is if you go to unseen, when you view unseen, then it'll show all of the movies. So notice, like, for example, Too Fast, Too Furious, that would normally be in my Fast and Furious group. So now if I were to sort the wall, to have the newest releases up top. See, there will be more. See, it wasn't showing No Time to Die on the previous screen because it was down at the bottom in the James Bond collection. So that I wish there was a way you could turn collections on or off. That's one gripe. Anyway, I'll wrap this up. I don't want to be too long. But I did just want to show at least that using the local server definitely makes an improvement in the scrolling through of the movies. Oh, I guess I also wanted to show one other thing with the Explorer, which I don't know. So a lot of people may want to just launch movies directly from here. Sometimes there was some actually some TV episodes that weren't in the database. I didn't expect them to be, but in order to find them and launch them, I found it easier just to come here for now until I'm updating the actual TMDB so I can put them on my Zappiti. But you can just go through these relatively quickly. Like here's my onboard drives. So this is the one that contains all of my UHD ISOs. And these you can scroll through. Well, this is just holding the button down, but I can even just hold down the page down. So if you wanted to get down to the bottom, it gets down there pretty quick. And you can launch the movie straight from here, just as if you can either play the movie or you can go to the menu straight from there. So that's pretty handy. Let me back out of that, sorry. So anyway, that's one more thing I just thought you all would be interested in seeing. But most of the reason, if you're getting a Zappiti, it's for the Zappiti video application. I did find that when you're using the PC Zappiti video on PC, you do have other options here. One is called Force Media Info. It doesn't show up on this player, but it shows up when you're on your PC Zappiti video player. I did find when I imported my collection in to the PC server, it nailed the metadata much better than it did when I created the cloud server when I initially set this up. Why that is, I do not know. That's a good question. But anyway, just thought I'd share that. I literally had to make no changes. The only things that I need to identify are things that they're just things that most people don't even know about. So it's not something that would be on a normal database. Anyway, that wraps that up. I'll get this posted, and again, I can make another follow-up if there's any additional questions. All right, take care.